Hello, everybody. Welcome at the Pan-European Conference on Digital Education in the middle of the summer. Thank you for your time to devote your holidays, I believe, also to your professional development. My name is Blanca Tasser. I will be the moderator of today's event. So let's see what is there for us. We have 4 presentations in this 1 hour and a half that we will be together. So first we start with, I believe, really relevant topic. Nada Ratković from Croatia will present ChatGPT in education. So many useful things that ChatGPT can do for teachers. Then we will see a marvelous project on history, and Karin, Helmerson, and Nikos Pachtas will present us an app that also you can use with your students, and you will see the exciting ways that you can do that. Then it will follow the 3rd presentation. Tanja, Slanšek, Marinšek prepared a really relevant project that is so important today about the safety on the internet, and she connected this with parents as well. And then we have the 4th presentation prepared by Georgiana, Rusu, innovative techniques for every student. That's ahead of us. All the presentations are available in the Facebook group, Pan-European Conference on Digital Education. You can become a member of the group and download the slides so that you can follow easier to the presentation, or you can use the ideas that will be presented here also for your teaching practice. That's the whole purpose that we are doing this here. So as you know, Pan-European Conference on Digital Education is a monthly event. We are always looking for presentations. So next conference is in August. You can see what we are looking for here and present your teaching case, your ideas. We will be really glad to listen to your as well. One little thing that I would like to share with you is that this summertime is also a little bit quiet for us, not in terms of the courses, but in terms of other project work. So we took our time and prepare a handbook that is really practical, I believe, because I know that a lot of teachers want to make Erasmus applications, but they are struggling with all the terminology, all the things that you have to write inside. So we prepared practical tips for creating high quality applications. You can find in the handbook different lists of indicators, different lists of learning outcomes for students, for teachers, for schools. You can find the handbook on our webpage, which is www.erasmuspluscourses.com, and download it from there. So hopefully the handbook will be useful for your work. All right, so thank you very much. Let's see who are our presenters today. First, we will just say hi from all of you. Yeah, so Nada is the first one, and then later we start with the program. So Nada, you presented here, I think, 2-3 times already. So
yes, I was. Yes. Okay, greetings from Croatia. Hot summer, hot day, but we are ready today to have an amazing conference. Professor Nada Ratković, a professor in a high school, Srednja strukovna škola bana Josipa Jelačića Sinj, university professor, professor in the Department of Quantitative Methods, Statistics, a very passionate educator, running so many projects. Doing a lot of things, writing books, handbooks, digital materials, multi-awarded tasking educator. Every day have a conference, webinar, or something like that. I think it is enough.
I think that your day has more than 24 hours. So, really. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Blanca, for this opportunity. Thank you so much.
Of course. Thank you. Karin, welcome again. Karin,
Thank you so much.
from Sweden.
Yeah, so my name is Karin Helmerson, or Karin Helmerson in English. I work as international coordinator for Frida, Utbildning of Frida Education, and Frida Professional. We are a consortium of schools with many projects, and we also organize international courses, just like Primera courses. And I'm very happy to work with Blanca on and Step on a project about growth mindset. But today I will present another project together with my dear colleague Nikos.
Who is already here.
Hello.
Nikos is from Greece. Can you say us a few words about yourself?
Yes, of course. First of all, I'm delighted to be joining this conference. My name is Nikos Pachtas. I'm not a teacher, I'm not an educator, at least in the normal way that someone thinks about it. I'm an electrical engineer, I'm a computer developer. I run a small company that focuses in using multimedia technology in culture and education. But most of all, we are trying to find new creative and engaging ways in using technology to make the knowledge more accessible to people.
And I scout hunted some of your work, which is really interesting how you can actually talk with characters from the history. And that was your work, right? Really
Yeah,
nice.
yeah.
Okay, and so Tanja, welcome. Tanja is a teacher from Slovenia. Just
hello, everybody. I'm very happy to be here. It's my second time, I think. I've been on this conference, and I'm a primary school teacher of English. I will later on. I will present my school, but just to say that we are also a group of great teachers at my primary school, Marije, Vere. And we are doing several projects. And today I'm going to present the latest one. So without further ado, as Karin always says, I will now just be quiet. So you will be hearing from me soon. Thank you.
Right. Thank you very much. And now Georgiana is our last presenter from Romania. Okay, hey, say hi.
Hello, everyone. My name is Georgiana, and it is my first time attending this conference. And I'm an enthusiastic teacher in search of continuous professional development. I've been teaching English for over 12 years. I'm a PhD graduate, and I also hold a TEFL certificate in teaching. I am also an Erasmus coordinator at my school. And hopefully I'll be able to deliver more presentations at your conference.
Thank you very much. I'm very grateful to you. I have a little comment. I cannot believe it's in the middle of the summer and we have almost 300 teachers now online. So that's, wow, really great. First, before we start, I have to answer one question that is here by Corina. Will it be another session about this matter? So if you cannot be here today for the whole day, there are recordings on the Facebook and on the YouTube. You can access them anytime. Otherwise, this conference is a monthly event, usually the last Thursday in month. So we are doing this for more than 3 years now, so there will be more opportunities, yes, of course, to discuss digital education. All right, so let's start. Let's go with the first presentation. Nada, it's your stage now. Here you have the presentation. Nada will present ChatGPT in education. She has many experience and she is also so curious. So I believe that the minute chat was out, she was on it. Okay, so just, yeah, here you are.
Thank you. Thank you, Blanca. Thank you for this big opportunity. Once again, a big greetings from Croatia. And as Blanca said, today my presentation is ChatGPT in education. So, coming from the high vet school from Sinj, Croatia, working on the university, also very active on the global level today on this digital conference, PAN conference on the digital education. Why ChatGPT? Why ChatGPT today? Because we know that the technology is rapidly growing. We have so many emerging trends in technology, and not only the ChatGPT, artificial intelligence, machine learning, blockchain, deep learning, so many challenges. And the big question today is: can artificial intelligence and her tool, the ChatGPT, remain as I will say at the beginning, it will never happen. It will never happen. Nobody cannot took our place in the education. So what is artificial intelligence? I will go a little faster through this. Artificial intelligence is here in the middle, you see. So talking about the machine learning, talking about the networks, deep learning, computer vision, we come to the artificial intelligence because we know that there are three main types: the ANI, the AGI, and the ASI. What it means? We have the low level, we have the advanced level, and we have the hypothetical super level of the artificial intelligence. And artificial intelligence is already in our classroom, in our education, making and for us solving a lot of problems, especially if we are talking about the personalized learning when we work with our students with special needs and students who are gifted. Also today we are talking on English, and this presentation is also one example of artificial intelligence. There are so many techniques, and this ChatGPT is coming from artificial intelligence. But I, like an educator, want to remind that we have a great David Kolb's learning model, and this model is very important for us because everything what we are starting, first we need to have a feeling. After that, we are watching something, we are monitoring something. After that, we are coming, thinking and watching, thinking again. After that is coming the doing. So without doing, acting, we cannot today talk about anything. The theory is not almost important like the practice today for our students. We have students who needs more. The time is changing, and also the education is changing. So many opportunities for our students coming from the data science, machine learning. And I want to say that AI, ML, TL are not part and subset of the data science. They are only one doing, and they can do out without other. So let us come to the question of today. How teachers can use ChatGPT, and is ChatGPT for the teacher? So are we looking for the new ways for the teaching? I can say that every morning when we get up, we are thinking about this. This is our mission and vision is the education, and we are directly with our students. And the question is, do we do today our lesson on the best way? Did we give our students the outcomes? Do we define exactly the Bloom's taxonomy verbs? What about the digital education? What about the summer model? So today we have so many opportunities. And yes, if we are tired, we have this famous ChatGPT. So it is helping a lot. But I will say now when we go through my presentation that it will not be good to give the students a freedom for this, especially if we are talking about high school, if we are talking about the education on the university. So here I will go through this and say ChatGPT is going to change education, but not destroy it. It is really today everywhere. It is relatively new from 2022, December 2022. It started with the OpenAI Foundation. What it means, generative pre-trained transformer. So the main technique is the natural language. We have a natural language which is completing this artificial intelligence. AI is coming in the form of the natural language for the next generation. How can we use the ChatGPT? It is very easy. We can try to make ChatGPT, and how we need to first log in. So we have the platform OpenAI. We have the OpenAI platform, and here it is easy. It is very, very user-friendly digital tool, and you have all the introductions at the beginning. Logging in, verifying our phone number, then we are coming to the ChatGPT. So how can we collect our data? Will we have a feedback? What is not here good, because we don't have new data, new information from the period of 2021, but it will be very soon. I'm sure that it will be completed. So what ChatGPT, when you you see the examples, you see the capabilities, and you see the limitations. Here at the examples, you can ask a question, and you can write in the chat, and like example, I write here all about ChatGPT, and you get the answer. What is ChatGPT? If you are not satisfied with your answer, you can generate again, and you can upgrade it. We have these versions, free versions, but we have the versions which we are the pro version, and they need to be upgraded. So they're giving more opportunities, but for us, this is enough to get the answers. So if you ask something privacy, like example, will I get a fortune or something like that, ChatGPT will answer you, please, it is very privacy or something like that, and will not give you the answer. So we need to know how to ask something, how to ask the informations very, very precisely. We need to ask. And coming to this, during our registration, we are doing the conversation. So I'm coming to our topic. This is our main topic today, how teachers can use the ChatGPT. So for us, like educators, we have these options. We can use it like a search engine. Then also, we can generate reading passages according to the level of students. So it depends about the students. It depends about the subject also. Which subject? It is not the same to ask something from math, statistics, or from a subject which is theoretical. Then we can prepare the interesting questions for the session. Then we can get help to improve vocabulary. We can learn English. We can learn any language by ChatGPT. Plan our lessons. Today, I say you want to plan a lesson, then you can really get a help from the ChatGPT. But I think that we have so many experience. Honestly, I only use it if something really is. I think that it is more answers, then I ask them, and I will show where I try something with my students with the ChatGPT. So here are these things very important. Say the question: is ChatGPT a replacement for the teacher? It is not. So never will replace us like a tool. It can help us in many things. Is ChatGPT safe for students to use? Yes, it is really safe for students. So teachers can always observe what the students are doing and what they are trying to do by the ChatGPT. Is it for all age groups? It is for all age groups. It can be used for all age groups, but it again depends about are the students in the elementary, high school, or university. So the levels for the students need to be defined. Can ChatGPT manage this controversial topics? This is a question. Everything of this is a big question, and we can talk a lot about this answers. So teachers need to provide this information when they are using something with the ChatGPT. Here, my students are really participating in so many competitions. And as I said, at December 2022, the ChatGPT makes a boom, and we had some competitions, but we didn't try it like statistical competition. And today, my students are always saying, Professor, why we didn't try ChatGPT for that? Because I really didn't think on that for that competition. But at June, at the end of the year, we have this Croatia Economic Olympiad, and it is an amazing competition, something very interesting there, where we are taking and looking and making a financial literacy game. We have a financial literacy game where students are simulating real life situations. So they get the capital. They finish their study, and they get the starting capital, and they have a task how to spend, and they need to live for 30 years. So they can invest, they can spend. So there's so many things that what will we do? We have a prediction of living for 30 years. So getting the smartest decision. And this program, this digital tool was open before, and I said, let us start to ask ChatGPT. So we practice before the competition. You see, this competition was online, but a high level of security. The students, each student need to have his computer, and I need to put a camera at the background of the students, and they didn't have access to the internet. But I want to say that we put in the ChatGPT the question. I have 10,000 euro. Where can I invest? So they get different answers, but only maybe for some type of ideas for them, because they're for the competition this time it is not good. But in the newspapers, in the literature, we see that so many math tasks can be solved. So this is a big question for our education. So how will we make the competitions? How will we do the tests? How we will do the evaluation if the student have access to a huge data? So we need to think about these things and using this, and how much will we use it, and where is the border. So here are the positive and negative impacts of this ChatGPT. I already said personalized learning opportunities. It is good. So because we have a lot of students, especially on the university, so for this it is great, also for the increased accessibility and for the language learning support. If we are talking about the negative things, that is that overlens in the technology, we see that there is a balance. We need to have a balance. We need to, when we are talking about the hard skills, soft skills, what opportunities are given to us, then there can be a misinformation. My town scene is very traditional, known by a traditional game called Sinjska Alka. When we ask ChatGPT about Sinjska Alka, we didn't get the correct information. But then, when you don't get the correct information, you write that you are not satisfied, so you need more and correct information about this. And the negative impact is the privacy and data security. So that are also the pros and the cons. If Before we talk about the high school, now we come to the pros and cons to the university. So here are some things like improving accessibility to education. It is helping the students to make the homework, giving assistance, also personalized learning and helping when they are preparing the exam. It is really, I know when my students are preparing the statistics, they also try to get some answers here at the chat GPT. But the cons are lack of emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence, we know that is really important. So this is a big con. And limited knowledge and the biased responses and the integrity. We are talking about the academic integrity. So the lack of academic integrity. So today I want to say this end notes. If we talk about in one hand, it has many benefits. We say what are the benefits? The ability to create all these lessons interactive, to increase access to education for the students and people who have disabilities, can be an assistant to that type of student and to the educator when we are planning something. But in the other hand, ChatGPT has so many cons we see and so many shortcomings. So, generating these biased responses, producing not good, inaccurate information. So, despite this, ChatGPT is here to say with a project increase in revenue about 1 billion in 2024 year. So, let us think about this. Let us see where are the borders. How fast will we go with this chat GPT? I already say this, and I will repeat. We have the free and we have the paid versions of ChatGPT. If we want this free plan, I see the standard things, the regular mode. If we want the plus, then we have a better speed. We have a bigger access to the other things. Today we have pardon. Today we have already the GPT-4. It is today the most advanced system. So we also have the opportunity to how can I move from this? We have the opportunity to go on this. So, for not only for education, for business, for marketing, for everything, it has many applications. You see, for learning for English, for French, or for the language, we have this Duolingo, we have the strips, and we can create the chat. So, what is the future with ChatGPT? Like a researcher, I find this from the Princeton University of Pennsylvania in New York. So the telemarketers and teachers may not be affected. They concluded this: in education sector, professors of language and literature in higher education, history, law, philosophy, religion, sociology, political science, and psychology would be most affected. Why they? Because they are almost theoretical, but for for engineering, for the field of engineering, for the science subjects, for maths, biology, chemistry, it is little harder. It is little harder to get all the correct answers and to solve all the tasks. So opening the door to us, educator, making a big revolution here in the world, doing big changes. But we are not scared. We will continue learning and growing together, helping each other, collaborating with our colleagues, all around the world. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your introduction to ChatGPT. We have some questions here, but I believe that to this question you already provided the answers, maybe one or two more ideas. So Mary is interested. How do we know the answers ChatGPT gives us are correct? Because we don't have the knowledge to evaluate. So how do we know?
That is like example. I say we ask something that that if we don't know that, we will don't know the is it correct answer. So
another thing that you can do with ChatGPT, but that is on the upgraded version, that you use plugins like Litmath. At least you can check the integrity if the literature is really, published or not. That's but otherwise, that's for sure. Then here is another question for me. So Petyush, will this stream be recorded? So yes, it will stay online. You can be for sure. So that's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank
you, Blanca. It is very hard in 15 minutes to make a huge.
I know. We will make one time the whole webinar about ChatGPT with you, so you will have enough time. But I believe that this introduction was really useful and encouraging for teachers, with the example that you show that how can you use it with students actually, so that we are not afraid of it, but that we give the power to the students and use it. Thank you, Nada. So we move forward with Karin and Nikos. I have so Karin, you start. They will present their project on creating digital app in the field of history. I'm looking forward. So here is your presentation, Karin. You can start.
Thank you so much, Blanca. So me and Nikos, we will give you an idea of a project that we have been working on together with other partners from Romania and Spain as well. So I'm from Sweden and Nikos from Greece. And what we wanted to do is to really create something useful when using technology in an innovative way to help students and make learning fun. And why did we want to create an application for history? Well, of course, you can go for a city walk and you learn about your local area and things, but students will not find, they go, okay, we went for a walk, now we're back. And it doesn't really give them more knowledge. So when you study something, if you can actually live it in a more active way, that's what we wanted to do and create with this project. So the idea is to combine the city walks with a lesson. So while you walk around, you learn. So by being active, we find it actually more efficient to learn. When you move your body, your mind is more active, open as well. So that's why we call it walking our way through history. So we are partners from Frida-skolan in Gothenburg in Sweden. We are partners with a school also with children with special needs, students with special needs in Romania, in Cluj. And we are with the second gymnasium in Messini in Greece. And we are also with a partner in Martos, close to Jaén in Spain. And of course, we have Nikos. He will introduce himself with digital innovations. And also a teacher trainer, Ariadne in Kalamata. So what we have done together is to provide the material and the database for this application, which is both a website and also a mobile application. And together, you can use it in the classroom to make history learning more fun, and also in the street. So we have a website that I think that where you can also find the links to download the application, both for iPhones and for Androids. And you can find more information about the partners there as well. And then our outputs, like I said, there is the platform and the mobile application. And what our students have done is that they have provided the information in Swedish, in Greek, in Romanian, and in Spanish for this platform. So, but we also have lesson plans. So there is educational material, also with the minding the diversity and children with special needs, how to use it. And we also, with lesson plans and so on in our languages. And we also have a train the trainer course and a Moodle where you could actually study yourself. All this material will be provided for you 15th of September. It's up and running, everything. But of course, we will show you now the idea of the application and so on. So what we want to do is to use this by creating your individual lessons about one or more selected places. Because I've spoken to Nikos that actually, if you use a template, then you can upload your own material to the database. And by using this application, you can actually do your own history walks. So the students can work on the tasks at school, but preferably then during a walk. These cities are included in the application right now. And you can find information then in the native languages as well, and in English. And so this is how you can use the education material with the lesson plans. I will go through this rather fast, so we will have more time for Nikos. About this project, so it started in 2020, right during the pandemic, but we stayed positive, in a good way, and had loads of digital meetings. But it wasn't until the last year that we could actually tune in the details, because then we could meet in the different places and try the app out. So it's time to actually, I will hand it over to Nikos. And what I wanted to tell you is that we will provide all the links necessary for you to actually go in. The Moodle is free for everyone, so you can join it and you can take the course that you want to and access all the material. So we will provide the links for everything, so that it could be also provided on the site, so that this is just an introduction, but you will get all the links. And as I said, from the 15th of September, everything will be open and running for you. But the app, you can try it out right now. So with these words, without further ado, like I normally said, I will hand it over to Nikos from Greece. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Karin. And in this page, you can see the downloading links and the downloading pages for the Google Play and the App Store in order to use it in your mobile phone, because this application and this whole idea was based in creating a mobile application and utilizing the GPS functionality that every smartphone has. Okay, so what exactly are we doing? Let me start with a personal story. This over here is the place where I grew up. Marked with the blue house is my home when I was growing up. It's in Thessaloniki. And as you can see in the map, it's in the street called Antifanos. That name, for those who know Greek, sounds very familiar as a Greek name and mainly as an ancient Greek name, but almost nobody knows who Antifanos was. Over here it's highlighted, that street. You see, it's a small street. So that Antifanos person shouldn't be very famous. And a lot of people, when I was telling them that I live in Antifanos Street, they were asking me, who was Antifanos? I was answering, I don't know. And this is something that I really don't like to give as an answer, because I think that it's a very good thing to be able to answer questions. So I went to the public library, tried to find a lot of books, and finally found out that Antifanos was a theatrical writer from Athens in the 4th century before Christ. And as you can see, not only this street in my neighbor, but also that street over here, it's called Hypatias Street in Greek, and it has been named after Hypatia, the famous mathematician and astronomer. Even Britannica Encyclopedia has an article about her. And also, that street over here, very close to my house, is the Agora Street. And the Agoras of Rhodes is a very famous figure because he was an Olympic Games winner himself. And also his two sons were Olympic Game winners. And when they got their Olympic win, they took on their arms their father, and the Agoras died, and he was so happy that he died in that way that it has become a story in Greek history. So the meaning is that there are a lot of parts of city parts in Thessaloniki, but also in all over Greece, that are the streets are being named after historical figures or historical events. So I was thinking that it would be very nice if we were able to create an application that will be able to pinpoint the user using the GPS, find out the name of the street, and then use a little database in order to find more information about that person or that historical event. So that's what we have done. This is the splash screen, the first page of the application. Someone can select if he is more interested in Greek, English, Romanian, Swedish, or Spanish text. And over here, that next screen pinpoints where exactly someone is located. This is actually the place where I am now. It's Apollonos Street in Thessaloniki. And you all know Apollo, one of the 12 gods of ancient Greece. So when the application finds my GPS position and finds that the name of the street of this position is Apollonos, then uses that name as a key to the database, looks up and tries to find if we have included in the database information about that street name. And over here is the information that is being displayed. It is a picture related to that historical figure and a small text. That text has been translated in all the languages of the partners of the program. So if Karin was in Apollonos Street, she will be able to read this text in the Swedish language. And also the same for all our partners. So over here, you see the marks, where do we have content in the application. Although that the application is mainly designed in order to be used on the spot, you can also zoom out the map and go to whatever place you want and find what kind of information has those partners included in our project. For example, in Göteborg, we have a street over here named Gustav Adolfs Torg, and we are talking about a king of Sweden. All that information have derived from student involvement. We didn't want to do all the job for the students and have them only as users. We want them to be involved in the creation of the material. So the students had to find the streets, to find streets in their city that have historical information in their name, to write the small text, to find multimedia material as pictures or video or anything like this, to find links for more info. Someone can have a link to a Wikipedia page in order to find more information, to translate all that information in the other language, and also translate, for example, the names and the material about the Greek cities, street names. The students have to translate them from English to Spanish, to Romanian, or to the Swedish language, and to also narrate the text in the English language and in their native language, because the application can be used in an automatic way, so that you have your mobile phone in your pocket, you are wearing your headphones, you are walking around the city, and you are listening whenever you are going to a street name that has something to do with history. You are listening that material that has been created.
Can I just
And also
add
some
there,
more.
can I just
Yeah.
add? It's actually
course.
interesting because we had 8-year-olds in Sweden narrating the text in Swedish, but 15-year-olds narrating it in English. So there has been a wide age range in this as well. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Of course, of course. So here we have some more examples. For example, from Martos, from Spain, we have the Gale Garcia Lorca. So we are having some information about this famous writer. In Cluj-Napoca, we have an example over here about Boulevard 21st of December 1989, a very significant date in Romanian history because it was the end of the Nicolae Ceausescu regime over there. And also here in Messini, another example about the Cordington Street, named after Sir Edward Cordington, that had taken part as British admiral to the Battle of Navarino. That was a very key moment in recent Greek history. So you can see that with this application, we have created a tool that uses the map of a city and the street names as an educational tool for someone to learn more about local and the history of their country. Now in this slide, you can see one of the most famous part of my city. It's the Aristotelus Square in the center of the city. Of course, it's named after Aristotle, the famous Greek philosopher. And there's also a statue of Aristotle in this square. An idea that we have and we will be, let's say, we're crossing our fingers that we'll be able to have in another project is to make the statues come alive with a mobile application and be able to talk. The status will start talking about the person that is being represented with this structure, and give more information about their history and about their significance in the city. That's all. Thank you very, very much for your time.
Thank you very much. I showed some comments during your presentations. So teachers are really happy to hear about your app. It's so useful, and we are so happy that you didn't provide only in English, but in other languages as well, so that teachers can actually use this in their classroom. Thank you very much. We will move on because we still have 2 more presentations that are also valuable. And good luck with the conclusion. Good luck with your further work on the app. Thank you for the presentation.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so now we have Tanja here. Hello, Tanja, once again. Just a second, I need to move the slides. So Tanya's presentation is also about one project. It's safety on the internet, and she connected this with parents. We are looking forward to hear more about that.
Thank you, Blanca. Yes, I'm glad to see you all here, and big hello from Slovenia once again. So as Blanca said, I'm going to talk about safety on the internet, school and parents hand in hand. So you can see from the title that this is a school, like teachers, students, and parents are connected, and they work very hard together. So to have some, so the children will reach their goals. So today I'm going to present you to discuss some topics. So first I'm going to present a bit of my school and local community. Then I'm going to talk the importance of digital citizenship. And then I have a practical example of Family Online Awareness Day that took place a few months ago, and also the analysis of this day. So if I start with my school, so you have a photo of my school here. So it is a primary school of Marije, Vere. So the school is located around 30 kilometers from the capital city, is in a rural environment. So there are around 550 students aged between 6 and 15 years. So what is typical of our school and community, that it is quite diverse in terms of social and of cultural backgrounds. So many families come from, have immigrated from Balkan regions like Serbia, Bosnia, and also Albania. So we have, sometimes we have a quite challenging situations. And one of our main goals in school is to bridge these differences in terms of different levels of knowledge, and to raise a positive attitude towards schoolwork. So that's why our families are important. And for collaboration. Why? Because we want families to have a close insight of school life. We want them to recognize the importance of school values, and also children to raise a positive attitude towards schoolwork. So that's why we want to involve parents in our school projects, so they could follow our school life. So one of our projects is about digitalization. And as you know, in recent years, this digitalization has reminded us of a new reality, as many new generations of children are born into the world of technology. So teachers have to follow this new reality and get some knowledge how to use digital tools and how to incorporate them into the learning process. And as soon as children enter the school, they are thrown actually into the process of digital literacy. And we have, as teachers, our aim is to raise awareness of online activities, as well to remind them of dangers and risks online. So with this in mind, a team of our teachers took a training session on digital citizenship. So our aim was to educate and to share our experience among ourselves, as well as to spread then this knowledge onto other teachers, students, and also parents. So to get parents and pupils actively involved in our projects, we organized a family online awareness day. So our aim was to get parents and pupils working together and discussing topics related to online participation. So this family online awareness day took part in the afternoon at their homes, and it was done in a few steps. Here you can see some steps or topics. So we discuss about online well-being, secure password, ethics online, and e-presence. So first of all, before we entered this day, families did online survey. So the purpose was that parents and pupils completed an online survey to find out how familiar they are with online activities. And with these results, they served us as an orientation tool to organize further activities. So you have some examples of these questions here. For example, do you know that there are various dangers online? Have you ever been educated about the online dangers? Do you trust the site you sign up to? Do you post pictures of yourselves and your friends online and on social networks? Do you ask your friends for permission before posting? Can you think of 3 rules of responsible online behavior? So on this served us as basis for further activities, and we want to adopt these topics as much as we could, because we want really that children will cooperate with their parents. So they were very basic but meaningful topics. So the first one was about secure password. We as school, we work in Moodle, and every year children get some passwords at school, and especially with young students, there is a problem because they lose their passwords. And when we come to the classrooms, they usually want to borrow their friends' passwords. And we have to constantly remind them that password is like their toothbrush. They can only be used by them, and it cannot be shared with anyone. This task started within the families by testing the strength of their password. So they used the application Password Secure Tester, so they could see how strong is their password, or whether they have to upgrade it or change it. So they got the idea how strong is the password. So the second task was watching video presentation. This video presentation was done by a group of older students of our school. It is about the password abuse. And after the watching, family had a discussion whether such an incident had happened to them, how they could react in such situation, or whether they could prevent it. So this was this is a short video. It is very simple one, but it has a powerful message. So I will show this video to you so you could see it. So Blanca, can you help me with this one?
Of course. Just
Thank
a moment.
you. Yes.
Varnost na spletu. Prijatelj 1 in prijatelj 2 sta bila že od nekdaj najboljša prijatelja. Zaupata si vse skrivnosti prek družabnih omrežij. Prijatelj 1 je zelo naiven in prijatelju 2 zaupa vse največje skrivnosti in gesla. Nekega dne sta se hudo sprla. Prijatelj 1 ga je osramotil pred to šolo. Naslednji dan so vsi v šoli govorili o prijatelju 1. Izvedel je, da je prijatelj 2 vsem v šoli povedal njegova internetna gesla. Začeli so objavljati grde stvari z drugim ljudem, naprimer njegovi mami, očetu in tako dalje. Hitro se je razvedelo, da tega ni pisal prijatelj 1, ampak nekdo drug. Kdo je to pošiljal, so s pomočjo policije in učitelja ugotovili. Bil je kaznovan. Prijatelj 1 in prijatelj 2 sta se drug drugemu opravičila in si oprostila. Vendar njuno prijateljstvo nikoli ne bo tako močno kot včasih.
Thank you. So you could see that also the students had thought about this security, and they did this video on their own. So the next topic was ethics online. This step aimed at promoting better online communication, and it aimed at raising the culture of online communication. So again, family gathered and they watched a video, but this video was, let's say, more professional. It was done by a Slovene agency called Secure Online. It's about the etiquette. So when the families watched the video, they had to observe the importance of appropriate or respectful communication and inappropriate one. So after that, they have a task. They had to write some online rules that would be on the basis of this video. So they wrote something like that. What you wouldn't say in person, don't type online. Don't send out messages, pictures, or videos that might hurt someone. Just delete them. When discussing delicate personal things, face-to-face way is preferred. Don't spread intolerance and hate speech online. It is a criminal offense to spread hate online. And the one which maybe sums up, and it's very well put together: observe etiquette, behave with tolerance and kindness. So the last e-presence. So the family should discuss about their presence online, and they should be aware that digital identity and reputation depend on themselves. So it depends what they type, what footprints they put online. So it's important whether this presence will be positive or negative. So in this step, children and parents check their online presence by doing an online research. So they type their name, surname, or other personal information, and they could observe e-presence online. They were also reminded that they have to think about when posting something, especially pictures of their families and friends, and they have, because they might have negative consequences if they just are published by not knowing the other party that they were posted. So at the end of these activities, the families completed another questionnaire, so to assess the new information they have received. So in this analysis, the results were that 27% of the involved have received new education about online dangers. 19% were newly aware of creating a secure combined password. Then 88% will be more likely to ask permission when posting photos of friends in the future. And 82% knew that already some new online rules of behavior, about basic rules. So I could say that this Awareness Day didn't finish at their homes, but when we ask also children at school, so we have the second part of the event at school. So they discussed with teachers, with us, how they went at their homes. So they were very willing to give some experience, some knowledge they gained, and so on. But I think that the most important thing besides their gained knowledge is also interaction, discussion between family members. So we could sum up that this event was success, as more than half of the families participated in our project. So if I sum up, I can quote Henry Ford's thoughts. Coming together is a beginning, keeping together is progress, and working together is a success. So thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much. And also for this conclusion that is really wonderful. Yeah, thank you for all the projects that you are doing with your students. And I hope to see you again in the Pan-European Conference.
Thank you.
We move on now with Georgiana. Hello. Yep, that's it. Georgiana, you mentioned you are also a coordinator and coordinate many projects different, and this time you will present us innovative techniques for every student. So here is your presentation. Looking forward.
Thank you, Blanca. Hello everyone, and greetings from Romania. I know there are a lot of teachers from Romania. Okay. So my presentation will focus on teaching techniques. These teaching techniques were learned from various learning mobilities. These mobilities were included in our Erasmus Plus project, Innovative Techniques for Every Student. I'm going to talk a little bit about the first learning mobility, which took place in Spain. And it was about, it's working. Yes, it is working. And it was about digital skills, developing digital skills. The name of the course was Pathway to Become a Digitally Competent Educator. Everybody knows that it is really important to upgrade our teaching techniques and use a lot of apps and platforms, not only to develop our own skills, but also to develop digital literacy in our students. I'm sure you are familiar with many of these apps. Some of you might use them in your classroom. But today I'm going to focus on the ones that I use most often. The first one is Quizlet Live. So this app is really interesting because the students need a phone and they need to enter a code generated by the teacher and of course by the app. Then they can be grouped by the teacher if we choose the classic mode, or they can be randomly grouped by the app. In classic mode, students can collaborate each other. So the app posts a question and the students need to collaborate in order to find out the correct answer. So only one student has the correct answer on their phone. Or you can also use chaos mode, but this can generate a lot of rumor or noise because students work with their team from across the room. So they're not working together. Okay. Another app that I find really interesting is Nearpod, because you can actually generate your whole lesson with Nearpod. For example, you can include a video, and while students watch the video on their phones, again, there is a code that the students need to enter in order to connect to the lesson. They watch the video and the question might pop up. The question is written by the teacher, of course, and they can answer the question by typing the answer in the chat box, and the teacher can see the answers of the students on her or his screen. Another interesting thing about Nearpod is that students can create posts about anything. So here is a topic about the 7 wonders of the world. They can add pictures, they can like each other's posts. And of course, if you want, you can also create a quiz. I think Nearpod is a really complete and interactive app that is really, really nice to work with. And I think it changed my life as a teacher in a good way because it helped me a lot. Okay, another app which is a little bit different from the rest is WooClap. This is a free app. And of course, you can also create your entire lesson here. What's different about WooClap is the fact that you can generate a brainstorming activity. So you can simply write a word or a question, and again, students will enter, will use the code. Yeah, they will enter the code on their phones and they will access the lesson and they can type the answer. So the teacher will see the answer. Here, I think it was a lesson about Japan. So students simply wrote some words related to the topic. You can also create an activity. It can be a text or a video where students can put the sentences into the correct order. What's really nice is the fact that Nearpod and Quizlet do not have this feature. So it's quite interesting if you want to use this type of activity in your classroom. And we also have this matching activities which students really enjoy, which are quite easy to mark. And what's really nice is the fact that students get instant feedback right away. If you want to test your digital skills, you can access this website, digcom.eu, and you will take the test, and then at the end you will get the results, see if you have a proficiency level, and so on. Now I'm going to focus on our second learning mobility, which took place in Italy. This mobility focused on game-based learning and gamification in education. So the main purpose was to understand the difference between game-based learning and gamification. First of all, to understand how to gamify your classroom, and how this game-based learning works, the principles to increase learners' engagement in the classroom. Okay, so here we can see the two concepts, gamification and game-based learning. I'm going to point out the fact that while in game-based learning, games are an important part of the learning process. In gamification, the learning process is turned into a game. And of course, there are some key principles that we need to keep in mind, which include there is a leaderboard. There are some challenges, there are points, there are badges, digital badges, and of course there are rewards, which students really love. Of course, we connected with other teachers from around the world, from Norway, from Denmark. I think being in an Erasmus project is an outstanding experience that everybody needs to have at a certain point. Now I'm going to focus on some practical activities that we had the chance to do ourselves. And the first one is a battleship game. So this activity involves students working in pairs. So there are two grids, and these two grids are your battleships. And every time your partner finds the correct association between the information in the first row and in the first column, your ship will sink. So I think it is a fun game which could help students revise the vocabulary or even grammar, of course, in a fun way. Another activity that I'm going to present is matching crosswords. Again, students will have to work in groups, and they will receive a crossword, half empty, and the other group has the other half. So students will come up with definitions or clues of the words, and the other group will guess the correct name. We also learned how to create digital escape rooms. I think they are quite popular with students. I think that the main ingredients of an escape room in the classroom is to have, first of all, they need to have a purpose. So there is always a mystery to be solved or a goal to be reached. Of course, you need the clues, a series of puzzles or questions to solve that lead them to the goal, to the final goal. And of course, you also need a time limit that drives motivation and focus. And here I've created a few slides on how to create a digital escape room. So first of all, you need to, it might sound unusual, but sometimes you need to, the first step should be, you should begin with the end in mind. So what do you want to achieve with this digital escape room? And then you have to decide which skills you'd like to assess. using the escape room. Again, you will have to create the tasks. And of course, you will need to become a little bit creative and come up with a story. That will probably motivate the students and will make them solve the puzzles. Of course, we also have to create the passwords. You can include numbers, letters, words, or symbols. You need to pay attention how you create the instructions. They need to be clearly written, so they will know at each point what they have to do. Another interesting activity that we had, it was performed with this app, which is called Action Bound. I'm not sure if you're familiar with it. It is actually a real world treasure hunt. So you need to go in the city, and students will need a phone, and they will access the app. And there you have your lesson. So students have different tasks that they need to achieve to find a certain building and to write down some numbers. They have to find a certain statue, and they have to answer a question. They have to find a lake, for example. Anything is possible. So I really encourage you to use this app. It's really interesting, especially if you want to do some outdoor activities. Besides doing digital escape rooms, we also did some physical escape rooms in the classroom, which involved finding our trainer. The activity was called Somebody Kidnapped Your Trainer. So we had to solve all these puzzles and answer these questions in order to find where our trainer was. This was really interesting. It's up to you how you want to create the puzzles. Anything goes, from problem solving to finding some specific clues in a text, and so on. There is another useful tool for you. You can create some digital badges for your students. For example, writing winner, or the best presenter, or so on and so forth. These are really interesting websites that you can check out. And thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Georgiana, very much. So many applications. I see you work on digitalization really a lot. There is one question. Just a second, I have to find it. Yeah, that's here. So Miriele is interested to know, does your school provide internet access for your students, or must students have internet access on their phones, so on their own?
So most of our students do have internet, so internet is not a problem. But there is also a connection that we have inside our school that our students can use. So both ways is possible.
There is the flexibility here. So in either case, the access is not a problem. I see. All right. Okay. So thank you very much. That was the questions that we had. I am grateful for all the presentations. So we conclude with the invitation to the next conference, which is on the last day in August, so 31st August. You can already apply it as a presenter or as a listener. Just go on the website erasmuspluscourses.com and apply yourself. We conclude today's session. Thank you very much with all the comments, with all the contributions that we have. So happy summer, and see you in August, hopefully.